Okay. My name is Clara Mae Curry. Today is January the 14th, and the time is now 7:10 p.m. I'm here to tell my story about the injustice that I have received here in Savannah, Georgia. And I find this month the most appropriate month to talk about what has happened to me as far as denied justice. Martin Luther King fought for justice and equality for all. Not only did he fight for justice and equality for all, he also fought for civil rights for all. And the best part of the flag, Pledge of Allegiance, that I love and enjoy most is "and justice for all," because that's what it means, justice for all. But Clara Mae Curry was denied her justice. So I must tell my story because I feel like by not letting the world and everybody in Savannah know what happened to me because of denied justice, my living will be in vain. And I will not live in vain because someone wants to make me or feel like they can intimidate me into being fearful of them. Now, I have a lot of respect for the law. In fact, I volunteered alongside some of Savannah's finest. That was before they merged into Scrappy or whatever they call the folks now. And I enjoyed working with them. And they were very decent policemen. And they wore their uniform proud. The thing that really gets me is the fact that we have people who has been appointed and elected to office that feel that they're indispensable and be above the law. But I hope by telling my story that this will change. Now, in May of 2003, I was living at the Robert Robinson apartment. I lived in apartment 507 East Hall Street. I lived in that apartment for 4 years. I came home from work on the May 11th, 2001. And when I got inside, I received a telephone call that someone was looking for me. I wanted to know why this person was looking for me. His name is Joseph Breaker. Now, I know Joseph Breaker should not have been looking for me because, first of all, the man didn't like me. I don't know why he didn't like me, but he just didn't like me. He didn't even speak to me. But when I was told by Reverend Blake that he was looking for me, and I asked him why, he said, he came to your house because someone told him that you told them that you saw him in the crack house. And I said, well, I didn't tell anybody that. I said, I told you because y'all were supposed to be brothers. And this man, Joseph Breaker, had I thought at the time, two children, two sons. I found out later that he had two sons and a daughter. Now, in the meantime, he was looking for me, people, because he's what someone had told him about me seeing him in the crack house. Little did I know that Joseph Breaker had came to my house on Wednesday, May 9th, 2003, looking for me. And Friday night was his second time at my house. And each time he came to my house, he was dressed in his uniform. Now, I'm not the police department. There's not a police department on Hall Street. The jail is on Carl Griffin Drive, so that's where he should have been at, in there guarding those prisoners. But he was over to my house looking for me. In fact, I was told by Reverend Blake that he was so angry with me and that he needed to drink a beer. The Reverend said he didn't want to take him to get a beer, but he wanted to get him away from my house because he was very angry. So he took him, he said, and also to talk to him and try to calm him down to tell him to stay away from me and leave me alone and let whatever foolishness someone had told him to go. But he was determined to get to Miss Curry. So while Reverend Blake was out and I was talking on the phone, this was May the 11th, I received another call. Now, my phone was non-listed, but Joseph Breaker called my house, and he said to me that he heard that I had told this lady, Nicole Staley, that he was in the crack house. He said to me that you're supposed to be some kind of big drug czar, and you clean up the drug in the neighborhood. But he calls me a black bee, and he said, if you call my name again, I will come to your house, I will kill you. And I will get rid of your black, and nobody will ever find you. And he says, I'm a Vietnam veteran. And he said, I know how to get rid of you. He also said to me, you can tell Al St. Lawrence or anybody you want to tell about me calling your house. They're not going to believe you because when I get through with this phone, I will get rid of it. And what you say, they will not believe you. Now, lo and behold, people, little did I know that the man was telling the truth. But I told him, I said to him, I said, if you was a man, you would come to my house and tell me that. A real man would come to my house. He would not hide behind that phone and threaten a lady about what you would do to me. I said, come to my house and tell me. And I said, if you ever call my house again, I said, I'm going to call the policeman as soon as I get off this phone. I said, you better not ever come to my house again. I said, if you come to my house again, I said, I'll be ready for you. So I slammed my phone down in his face. Little did I know about my grandchild would answer the phone. I had a 10-year-old granddaughter at the time that I was raising. I was so angry, people, until I walked into my bedroom to get my night clothes, to go and take my shower. And when I got in the bathroom and turned the water on, I heard my granddaughter scream. And I ran out of the bathroom, and the phone was on the floor. She had dropped the phone. And I said, what is the matter? And she says, Mommy, the man on the phone said he's going to kill me just like he killed you, and said nobody ever find us. So I picked the phone up, and I would not repeat what I told him, because it's not for, I would just not like to repeat what I told him that night. But I said to him, if you call my house again, I say, then you will have to kill me, because I'll come looking for you. I said, don't you ever call my you-know-what house again. And I said again to him, if he was a man, you would not threaten the life to kill a grandmother and a grandchild. So then I hung up the phone and I called Chief David Gallatley. And I told him what had happened. And he says, Miss Curry, that is just awful. And he said, let me call Al St. Lawrence and tell Al St. Lawrence what he did. So he said, don't go away anyway. I said, I'm going to call you right back. In the meantime, my granddaughter was in hysterics. She was so terrified, she didn't know what the world to do. She says, Mommy, we can't stay here. She said, we have to go and stay with somebody else, because that man will come here and kill us. Say, Mr. Breaker will come kill us. I said, he ain't going to come and do a damn thing to us. So in the meantime, what happened, Chief David Gallatley called me back. And he said to me, Miss Curry, Al St. Lawrence, Sheriff, Al St. Lawrence is not home. He is out of town, and he'll be back on Monday. And he said, are you going to be all right? I said, don't worry about me, Chief. I'll be just fine. He's the retired Savannah Police Chief from Savannah Police Department, Chief David Gallatley. In the meantime, my granddaughter was still in hysterics. She says, Mommy, we can't sleep in the bed tonight. We have to lay on the floor, because that man will come kill us and nobody will ever find. We'll be dead by the time somebody find us. And I said, well, if you want to sleep on the floor, we'll sleep on the floor, but he's not going to come. So we slept on the floor. Now, I called after the sheriff came. They called, and Chief David Gallatley called him, told him, and he called. They called. And then they sent someone out to do a report. I can file a complaint. Now, I want to tell y'all people, that internal affairs is not worth a crap. Because first and foremost, Joseph Breaker don't work for me. He had no right coming to my house, not once, not twice. He had no business coming to my house, not once. He didn't have no right coming to my house twice. And plus the fact he was in his uniform. And then the fact that he was so angry until he wanted to kill. He didn't know what to do with me. In the meantime, I hate to have to think about it as I speak. What could have happened to me that day had I not been worked late and was home when he came. Now, in the meantime, I filed a complaint, which I have right here, a complaint for Joseph Breaker. I filed this complaint, and I received, after they went over it, the complaint, which states that your complaint, this is June the 8th, 2001, and it's from the Sheriff's Department, which you can see right here. What happened, the letters, it states, Miss Clara Mae Curry, 1829 Hale Street. Now, if you notice, it's 1829 Hale Street. I was living at 507 East Hall Street, Savannah, Georgia, 31404. And it states, Dear Miss Curry, your complaint has been received by the Professional Standard Unit and is classified under complaint number 200-2001-24. We anticipate the administrative internal investigation will be complete within 30 days of receipt. However, the entire administrative process from the initiative receipt of this complaint to final disposition takes approximately 60 days. Thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. You will be notified when the investigation is completed. Now, mind, this is June the 8th. This is from Sergeant K. Middleton, Unit Manager, Professional Standard.